Shout out to the family, man. Much love, honor, and respect, man. Welcome to the Nazareth is the Hood podcast. Man, I really just can't get over that last song. It that just played, man. It was so fitting to what just played. You might have missed it. The name of the song is Come and See, and it's based on where Christ was born. The name of the song is Nazareth is the Hood. Come and see, from John, the first chapter and the 46th verse. And the way it fits so well with this teaching we're about to have. Because every so often, the nationality of Cornelius comes up within Israel. Okay? You got many brothers that are elders, whom I have very much respect for, you know. Um, and I always respect my elders. I would be nothing without these brothers laboring in the streets, teaching this truth in the highways and the byways, uh, bringing this truth out. Um, and I have something special, especially, when it comes down to just thinking about these brothers. I prayed for these brothers since I was about 12 years old, 11 or 12 years old. I tell this story to my family all the time, and I just tell them about how when I was coming up as a young man, I always knew that the Most High was real. My grandmother actually told me at a very young age, I was probably about 8 years old, when she told me that we were the Israelites. Now, at that time, of course, I really didn't, know the impact of that statement, and I didn't know how significant that statement actually was. But at the same time, she let me know at a very young age just who we were as far as our nationality was concerned. So she would always sit and read her Bible in her chair in her living room. And you would see her laughing, or you would see her underlining stuff and highlighting stuff, and she was deep into the scriptures. Okay, she had a true relationship with the Most High, and that bled over to us. And so I always knew that even when I was functioning in my life and doing the things that I was doing, I would even, when I knew I was doing wrong, I would even, pray to the Lord and just say, just go with me on this. I know I ain't supposed to be doing it, and guess what? This will be my last time doing it. But I need you to go with me, and I need you to be with me. So even in my wrong, I would always cry out to the Most High, and I always would pray at a young age, Father, just please, before you send your son, before you return or you have him to return to the earth, please have brothers in the street warning us and letting us know that you're about to send your son. I would always pray that, man. And I did not know the significance of that till about 18 years ago. And so now you see the brothers on the highways and the byways bringing out this truth. You can see, brothers waking up all over the planet, man, to this truth, to our nationality, to our culture, and to the fact that we have disrespected and rejected and forsook the Holy Covenant, man. We have rejected God's laws, statutes, and commandments, man. We have become proud and arrogant, man. We hate each other as a nation and as a people. And when you look at the black church and you look at the black Christian pastor and you understand that the black Christian pastor was the first down low brother, when you understand that the black church is the most destructive weapon ever used by the enemy on our people, when you understand that the black church collected over $800 billion in a 10-year period from 2009 to 2019, do you know how much money $800 billion is? That's a whole lot of money. So I just wanted to come on, man. I thought that I would definitely have to do this study. It's nothing more exciting in the scriptures to me. These are scriptures that I really like reasoning about. I love reasoning about Cornelius. I love reasoning about the circumcision and the uncircumcision, and will the Gentiles be saved, and what is a Gentile, and I mean, all of these things are very key to the body. It's key to your understanding, and it also tests you and tries you, and makes sure that you understand that the Most High, He could turn your lights off. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is from the Lord. Everybody don't just automatically understand this Bible, okay? And what you'll find out is that even brothers that's labored in the truth for 30 and 40 and 50 years, man, the Most High can turn their lights out. I've seen some of the greatest elders, some of the greatest men that you could ever imagine in this truth, man, turn and start calling a man a comforter, or come out with some doctrine that it don't line up, man. And so what I think that most of Israel forgets is that you have to maintain deep study in these scriptures, or you'll get out here and you'll start teaching things like Cornelius is an Edomite. And that is just, I mean, when I heard the elders teaching this, and I mean, brothers that I respect, I mean, just across the board. But when I heard a very well-known elder say, out of his own mouth, said it plainly and clearly, the Most High chose the devil to bring in the heathen. And I just, I couldn't get that quote out of my head. I just kept hearing it. And so today, I'm scrolling on Facebook and I see another elder who obviously agrees in part with the elder that I saw before. Okay, these are brothers that's been in the truth for 30, 40 years. I mean, these brothers are seasoned in the truth. And these brothers got great spirits too. They humble too. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't no rah-rah like, it's so many Israelites that I mean, they just inherently got wicked spirits within themselves, period. You know what I mean? Wishing for a brother death, and I mean, just obviously don't understand how serious Christ was when he said, if you are angry with your brother without a cause, you are a murderer, man. When the scripture tells you that, how you going to believe in a God you can't see and you don't love your brothers that you see every day? Okay. So for those that think that you can still make it to the kingdom without loving your brother, and I guess, you thinking that the Gentile, you really need to be concerned with making sure Israel get in first. That's your main concern, right? And see, what you have to understand is that you can go into these scriptures, and these scriptures are going to manifest what's in your heart. Whether you believe it's truth or whether you believe what a man taught you. See, there's this affiliation. There is this need to continue in the doctrine of old, right? It's it's like a badge of honor to continue the same doctrine, okay? Because you believe that everything that you learned was the truth. Well, guess what? All the truth that you learned was the truth. But the error that also comes from man is error. And one of the most indestructible elements in both the physical and the spiritual realm is the truth. You can't do nothing with it. The truth will cut off the ring and go to the body. It's nothing you can do. It's nowhere to run. The truth is undefeated. And we're about to look at a little bit of the brother's video. We're going to go through his video point by point. And we are going to break down in great detail each and every point the brother makes. The brother asks some significant questions that he says that it's been many years that Israelites are not able to answer these questions, and I assure you today that we will answer them, and we will do one better. We'll answer them with the scriptures, because I am nothing again. This is about the scriptures. This is nothing personal. This is not no competition. We ain't trying to, I'm better or ridiculous. I don't even get into that type of madness at all. Okay, you have a hard time finding that type of spirit in me towards these brothers that have committed their entire lives to this truth. Committed their entire lives to waking up the Israelites. The Israelites in America wouldn't be anywhere, even all over the world, wouldn't be close to where they are without the camps. I mean, so to separate yourself from the camps or to some kind of way at money, because I find a lot of Israelites that aren't in camps. The first thing they say to really qualify their message, and the same thing that, black people say when they want to qualify their message, they come out, well, I'm not a racist and I love everybody. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And so you find a lot of Israelites, especially Yahya Israelites, you know what I mean, that don't per se rock with the camps. They always got to qualify and say, well, I don't really agree with the camps, and they got the sign, and they got all these hidden problems. But guess what? I don't have any of those hidden problems. If it was not for them brothers, the Israelites would not be awake on this level that you see going on in the earth right now. And please understand something. Christianity is not fireproof. If you are a Christian in 2025, immediately I know that you do not study the Bible. Because the Bible is not a book with Christians in it. There are no Christians in the Bible. Neither is Christian doctrine anywhere in the Bible. The Bible or the black Christian church does not teach the Bible. Please understand that. The black church, the black Christian pastor does not teach the Bible. Okay? So that you can understand. So if you're still running around and you're dealing with Christianity, this lesson may be too deep of a dive for you. This may be deep water for you. Okay? Because you need to start at the milk. You have to lay your life down, be born again, and be retaught from the milk. Okay? This is going to be over your head. All right. So Let's pull the brother up and allow him to introduce himself and get off into his teaching.
It's just absolutely ridiculous at this point. It really is. But let me get myself set up. Hope everyone is having a blessed day. I had a pretty good Sabbath, and I'm ready to start the week. But anyway, get the chat up. Just give me a moment. Get that going. Let me put this up. I don't know why this is so hard for certain people, but well, I do understand why it's hard, because when you, quick refresher, when you come apart on the parts where the Most High,
in your questioning of Cornelius being an Israelite, you'll have to know the history. I don't believe that. Some brothers are going to still run with that. I don't believe that. But that's what you usually get. Or you'll get word salad, verses, and precepts. Precepts that has nothing to do with the subject matter. Israel was balled up. I don't know why this is so hard for certain people, but well. All right. Shalom. I want to continue this biblical questionnaire for you brothers and sisters who may run into these lost souls who believe that Cornelius is an Israelite. Let me just make sure I'm up real quick. Yeah, I think I am. There you go. Like I told you, I've done this many times. Every once in a while, I do a refresher. And I pick up on new things, too, to further prove that Cornelius wasn't an Israelite. And it's just absolutely ridiculous at this point. It really is. But let me get myself set up. Hope everyone is having a blessed day. I had a pretty good Sabbath. And I'm ready to start the week. But anyway, get the chat up. Just bear with me a moment. that going? Let me put this up. I don't know why this is so hard for certain people, but well, I do understand why it's hard, because when you, quick refresher, when you come apart on the parts where the Most High is dealing with the Gentiles, this totally causes brothers to freak out and have a meltdown. They can't they can't deal with that part. Real quick, but a quick catch up as far as what we discussed yesterday. Just bear with me a moment. I'm just still trying to get myself together. Get that. Give me just bear with me one moment. All right, I'll be right with you. I'm a little stressed for time. I just got out the gym, so I just got the gym a little while ago. Put some background music in for this second part. Right there should be cool. Anyway, the subject matter and what's on the tables was Cornelius an Israelite, and this has a lot of the camps in division, a lot of the brothers in division, and my thing is put questions out there and see if they get answered. I did a video yesterday. You could look it up. Feel free to look it up if anyone is. Who believe that Cornelius is an Israelite. Can you answer those questions I posted up yesterday? Can you answer those questions? I doubt it, because I've been doing this since 2005, maybe 2005. But answer those questions. Like I said yesterday, the majority of brothers, when you question them and you are very detailed in your questioning of Cornelius being an Israelite, you'll have to know the history. I have this book that says such and such. And the most famous one is, are you saying the Gentiles can be saved? I'm not saying that. I don't believe the Gentiles can be saved. I don't believe that. Some brothers are going to still run with that. I don't believe that. But that's what you usually get. Or you'll get word salad, verses, and precepts. Precepts that has nothing to do with the subject matter. Israel was balled up and confused, and Israel this, and what about this Roman centurion? You'll get all that crap, but you will not get the truth. Questions is on the last video. I'm going to give you a refresher back. I'm going to jump back and just touch on a few things. For example, let's just go back a little bit. Let's just refresh so people can catch up as far as what the questions were. Let me see right here. Just bear with me a moment. I'm going to go through it real quick, and then I'll go to my next question, because they're not going to be able to answer any of these questions, in my opinion. In my opinion, they're not going to be able to answer any of these questions. But maybe I'm a fool. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just a fool. Maybe I'm just a fool. But let's go back to Acts 15, because that's where we left off yesterday. And in the book of Acts, the 15th chapter, and I'm just going to get to the meat of the matter. It's there was a council between the brothers and the leadership of Israel, and they were trying to figure out what to do with these Gentiles that the Lord was dealing with. Now, the other brothers, they say that these Gentiles are Israelites in a Gentile frame of mind. In a Gentile frame of mind. But the scholars seem to see things differently, as well as me and a lot of brothers. We see things different. We don't see these as Israelites in a Gentile frame of mind. We don't see that. So what I did, I went to the 10th chapter with Cornelius, and Peter dealing with Cornelius, whereas brothers think that that's an Israelite. But when you fast forward to the 15th chapter, because besides Cornelius, there were other Gentiles mentioned in Acts the 10th chapter, as well as the 15th chapter. So when you go to the 15th chapter of Acts, they have this meeting on should these Gentiles be circumcised? Brothers believe it to read, should these Israelites who are in a Gentile frame of mind who are uncircumcised be circumcised? But here's where I have the problem. Here is where I see a problem. In the 15th chapter, it says, let's go right to the 14th verse. It says, Simon has declared how God, the Most High, at first did visit the Gentiles. Now, are these Israelites? Or are these just plain old Gentiles? Again, it says Simon. Let me see, make over here. That's big enough, right? Let me make it bigger for you so you can see it better.
So understand where we are currently is that the brother is saying that these brothers in Acts, the 15th chapter, these brothers that Paul and Barnabas are going to, are they Israelites? Okay, that is what his argument is hinging on. Now, ironically enough, and this is normally what happens when you have elders who have been teaching this madness for so many years, right? Because they're stuck in what their understanding is from many, many years ago, okay? But what you'll notice is that, like I said earlier, there are multiple elders that believe that Cornelius is an Edomite, or that he's a heathen, or that he's of another nation, as in of another nationality, okay? And the elder Baqash, he does not believe that the heathen and that the Gentiles can be saved, when other brothers who believe Cornelius is a Gentile, or that he is a heathen Gentile. I need to make the distinction, okay? There is a heathen Gentile, right? And there is a Israelite Gentile, so that you can understand the difference. You understand? Okay, so when the Israelites started to worship idols, the book of First Maccabees, and I'll get into all of that when I get to explaining. I'm trying to make sure that I keep it as simple as possible. I don't want to go into too much all at once. But his point now, and we're going to let the brother explain his point all the way out, okay? We're going to go into his precepts, and we're going to break down each precept. And we're going to prove once and for all that Cornelius is a Northern Kingdom Israelite. Okay? And we're going to make this very, very plain and easy to understand, because we're going to handle all of the questions and all the objections that the brother has, and we're going to prove the error in this teaching that has been around for so long, and that has, have men divided and have camps divided. But guess what? It's 2025 now. All right. So we got online. So you got to understand something. The truth will cut off the ring and go to the body. It is nowhere you can run and hide. The truth is undefeated. I am nothing. Okay? Just so that you can understand that this is not a competition. I am nothing. It's this truth. It's this Bible. The Bible proves itself, and the Most High gives understanding to whom he chooses. All right. So we're going to let the brother continue. And remember, his point is, and keep in mind, he went all the way to the book of Acts, the 15th chapter. The book of Acts, in context, is after Christ was resurrected. Okay? Paul never met Christ in the flesh. Paul met Christ in the spirit. Okay? He met Christ on the road to Damascus, which is also north of the Northern Kingdom. Now, many of our elders keep in mind that they have gone away from study. Okay, I just need to. I need you to understand that you know, a lot of our elders, especially the ones that teach on the street, they're mostly dealing with milk scriptures. They're mostly dealing with babes, you know, waking people up, waking Israelites up to the truth, dealing with, you know, with heathens and Gentiles and you know, trying to put them in their place and let them know their nationality and that type of thing. And that can become redundant. You understand? All right. And they don't have as much time to study the scriptures and go into the deep and dark sentences, right? Into the deeper dives. They don't have time to be able to do that. I'm just going to put it right there, because it's a lot of you that are now preaching madness. It's just quite and simply madness. But at the same time, you know, it's just like I was telling another brother, another elder, you know, I'm not coming to bring confusion. I'm not coming to tell you, you know, you're going to be put to death and you this or that. And I mean, that's just ridiculous, or cut you off. Or no, the way you reason and the way you handle different doctrines says a lot about what you are in your heart, man. Right? If you're finding excuses to hate Israelites, something is wrong with you deep down. But a lot of Israelites have mental illness. Why? Because a lot of our people have mental illness, man. We are suffering from Stockholm syndrome. I mean, just the spirit of being a heathen apologist, right? Or to call one of the most pivotal Israelites in the scriptures, the one that, I mean, when I say that the prophecy is so detailed and so specific and so exactly what happened between Peter and Cornelius, and, you know, many of the brothers just completely missed it, right? And so it makes them a heathen apologist, right? But the brother did say, you know, the elder did say he does not believe that the Gentiles can be saved, and the Gentiles cannot be saved, okay? The Gentiles cannot receive the inheritance, nor can the Israelites give the Gentiles their inheritance, okay? And we're going to go into all of that in just a second. But just notice that we went to Acts, the 15th chapter. We went all the way through the Old Testament, okay, to prove that Cornelius is a Gentile and an Edomite Gentile at that. I don't know if the brother made it specifically to be an Edomite, but the other brother did, the other elder did, and he said that the Most High chose the devil to bring in the heathen, and it's just it's ridiculous to even think of. But let him finish.
Better make it a little bigger. We're going to go back down to the 14th verse. It says, Simon has declared how God at first did visit the Gentiles to take out of them, the same Gentiles, a people for his name. So are these Israelites or are these Gentiles? 15th verse. And to this agreed the words of the prophets. Listen, 15th verse again. And to this agreed the words of the prophets as it is written. So where is this written? That's the key. Where is this written? So it's written in the book of Amos in the Old Testament. So we jumped from the New Testament and we jumped to the book of Amos in the Old Testament, the 9th chapter, and the 11th verse. And this was where the question was. Amos 9, verse 11. Let me make sure I'm there. There you go. No, he was not. And if he was, I'm talking to this brother here, you're incorrect. Because if you believe that Cornelius and the people that's being mentioned in the 15th chapter was talking about Israelites in a Gentile frame of mind, I'm gonna go back there again. If you believe that this is talking about Israelites in a Gentile frame of mind, let's go back to Acts the 15th chapter. This is a question for you. And I guarantee you, these brothers never answered this question because I've been dealing with this since 2005, 2006, somewhere around there. I've done over 8 videos on the subject. Over 8 videos. And they always give you word salad. And at the end of the day, they say, this brother believes the nations can be saved. This brother believes Esau can be saved. But now, if Cornelius was from the northern tribes of Israel, answer this question. I'm gonna go back to Acts. Acts 15, verse 14. Simon has declared how God at first did visit the Gentiles. Who are these Gentiles? This brother and a host of other brothers in camps and schools teach that this is talking about Israelites in a Gentile frame of mind. Simon has declared how God at first did visit the Gentiles to take out of them a people for his name. Let's read on. 15th verse says, and to this agree the words of the prophets. What prophets? The prophets in the Old Testament, specifically Amos. As it is written, where? Not in the New Testament, in the Old Testament. 16th verse. After this, I will return, which is in the Old Testament, he's quoting, and I will build again the tabernacle of David, which is fallen down in the Old Testament. And I will build again the ruins thereof, and I will set it up in the Old Testament, he's quoting, 17th verse, that the residue of men might seek after the Lord and all the Gentiles. You said that these are Israelites. And all the Gentiles upon whom my name is called, saith the Lord, who doeth all these things. So you're saying in the 17th verse, these Gentiles are Israelites. You're saying in the 14th verse, in the same New Testament, Acts the 15th chapter, the same Gentiles are Israelites in the Gentile frame of mind. This is a quote from Acts the 10th chapter. Understand? This is a quote from Acts the 10th chapter when you read the whole chapter of Acts the 15th chapter. He's quoting Acts the 10th chapter, or they're referring to the Gentiles rather in Acts the 10th chapter. So now let's go to the quote, because again, the quote is here. I'm gonna read it one more time, and we're gonna go there. The 17th verse. That the residue of men might seek after the Lord and all the Gentiles, Israelites in the Gentile frame of mind. That's what you believe. I believe they're Gentiles. Upon whom my name is called, saith the Lord, who doeth all these things. Let's go to the quote now. Amos 9, verse 11. Because you have to explain to me, why is this saying what it is saying, if I am wrong? All right, I'll deal with that later. We did that. You go and read yesterday's video. Watch yesterday's video. We did that already. It don't matter. It don't matter because Acts the 10th chapter is being mentioned in the 15th chapter. Peter is going over what happened in the 10th chapter, in the 15th chapter. They both say Gentiles. You believe that both chapters are talking about Israelites in a Gentile frame of mind. So answer this question. Answer this question. You see, this is where the word salad and the confusion comes in. Because both chapters is talking about Gentiles. Are you saying that Gentiles in the 15th chapter are not Israelites in this Gentile frame of mind, as well as Acts the 10th chapter? You claim that both are Israelites in a Gentile frame of mind. In the 15th chapter, he goes further about the Gentiles, and he sends you to Amos 9, verse 11. Let's read that now. In that day, I will raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen. We read that in the New Testament. And close up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruins. We read that in the New Testament. And I will build it as the days of old. Now here it comes. Pay attention now. That they may possess the remnant of Edom. We know that Edom will be possessed. Edom is not an Israelite. Unless you think the Edomites here are Edomites or Israelites called Edom in a Gentile frame of mind. That's the only thing I can think of. But clearly, Edom is not Israel. Clearly, Edom is not Israel in a Gentile frame of mind. And all the heathen, which are called by my name, saith the Lord, that doeth this. We read the same thing in Acts the 15th chapter. We read the same exact thing in Acts the 15th chapter. Acts 15 verse 17. That the residue of men might seek after the Lord. And all the Gentiles, it don't say heathen here. It doesn't mention Edom here either. But it says the Gentiles. Instead of the word heathen, it has the word Gentiles. And all the Gentiles upon whom my name is called, just like in Amos, saith the Lord who doeth these things. Back to the 12th verse in Amos 9, verse 12. Let's read it again. That they may possess the remnant of Edom, and all the heathen, and all the Gentiles, and all the heathen, and all the Gentiles. It simply replaced the word Gentile, and put heathen here. And all the heathen which are called by my name, saith the Lord, that doeth this. So clearly, this is talking about the same thing, and it's talking about us possessing the Gentiles. It's talking about us possessing the heathen. It's talking about us possessing Edom. So here's the big question. How can these be Israelites in a Gentile frame of mind? That was yesterday's question. You understand? Let's go to what the scholars say. Again, let's go back to what the scholars are saying. Let's go there real quick. Because you got to answer the questions. You got to stop with, you got to know the history. You got to know this and that. You got to know the Romans were the Romans had Israelites in their armies. You got to stop with that nonsense. It's not going to fly, because you know what's going to happen? Somebody like me is going to slow you down one day. They're going to slow you down, and they're going to question you just like I'm questioning you now. They're going to slow you down. And that's exactly what's going to happen, man. And that's what's happening now. These Christians, they know your doctrines. You know how? Because a lot of brothers who lost faith and left the faith, they know your breakdowns. And they know the garbage ones, and they know the truthful ones. And you're going to look real stupid when you just keep using these word salads and these lies and these Jedi Hebrew Israelite mind tricks. It's not working anymore, because we're coming close to the end. And you're lying. You're lying. You're teaching a lie. You're teaching a lie. Bottom line, you're teaching a lie. Let's see what the scholars say now. Thus, the Most High says not one is good. We're not talking about that yet, though. Answer the question. See, this is the game they play. This is how you get them. Answer the question. Forget about Cornelius. Cornelius was a devout man. Heathens can't be devout. We're not talking about that yet. We dealt with a little bit of that yesterday, but we're not talking about that yet. This is where they try to confuse you and make you go somewhere else. Answer that question. How is Amos 9:11 and Acts 15 verse 14 the same? And clearly in Amos, the Old Testament is talking about heathens, and the Most High even threw Edom in there. How can it be Israelites in a Gentile frame of mind? That would mean that Edom would be an Israelite in a Gentile frame of mind. That would mean that the heathen in Amos 9 verse 11 would be an Israelite in a Gentile frame of mind. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Stop trying to go somewhere else and deal with what's on the table. Answer the questions. Acts 15 verse 14 states that Simon Peter has described how God first visited the Gentiles to take out a people for his name. He's quoting Acts, the 10th chapter. Like you wanted me to go to Acts? He's quoting it. Peter is quoting it. And what he's telling you what went down there. This verse is part of the account of the Council of Jerusalem. Remember I said there was a meeting? Remember that? Where James used Peter's testimony to support the argument that Gentiles are saved by faith in Jesus. Check that out now. That key word, saved by faith. I want to show you something real quick because if I'm going to use in tomorrow's video, I want to show you something in tomorrow's videos because these fools are teaching that Romans 11 chapter are Israelites in a Gentile frame of mind too. That don't make no sense. That makes...
What I want to do, I want to stop it right there because I didn't want so much to go by you because it was a whole lot of information that he brought out. So what I actually want to do is I want to rewind, right? I want to go back to where he started, okay? And he started in Acts, the 15th chapter. And his entire premise is based on the 15th verse of Acts being heathen Gentiles, or, I mean, as he said, Edomites, and that the Lord is bringing in Edomites and Moabites and Ammonites and Elamites and all of these nations. And obviously, he is teaching that all of these nations are somehow tied into these Gentiles that are in, well, I'm just going to leave that. I'm going to leave that. So let's do this. So let's start at the beginning of Acts, the 15th chapter. Because in order for you to determine what the 14th verse is talking about, quite often you need to go to the context of the scriptures so that you can understand where are these conversations being had. Because see, that's very important, because I responded to the brother, and what I did was that I went back to the beginning of Acts, the 15th chapter, and I started at the first verse, and I gave him 9 verses. Okay? And I gave a detailed explanation of each and every verse. And at the end of each of the 9 verses, there was not a heathen Gentile in sight. I'll say that again. I gave him 9 verses. I explained each and every verse, as I will in real time, right here and right now. I'll explain each and every verse, okay? All the way down to the 15th verse to get the context, to know where we are, who is present, if they are heathens that are present, if they are Edomites, if Elamites, Ammonites, Moabites, so on and so forth. All of these nations, if they're all in a particular location, and if they're all prophesied by the prophets, because remember it said, as saith the prophets. And the brother went to Amos, not knowing that the major prophet that spoke of this exact same thing was Jeremiah. Okay? So now, let's clarify and let's see what we have here. Okay? So now, let's start at verse 1, Acts chapter 15 and verse 1. A certain man which came down from Judea taught the brethren and said, except ye be circumcised after the manner of Moses, ye cannot be saved. So first and foremost, we have a certain man from Judea, meaning we have a Southern Kingdom Israelite that is from one of 3 tribes. What I'll do also is that I will place a map on the screen. Now, the brother calls it history lesson, okay? But quite often, you have to look at the history so that you can understand the Bible. If you don't know the history, you don't know the Bible, okay? The Bible is written in parables, okay? So that you can understand. So now, this is a map. This is a map of the Northern and the Southern Kingdom. I'm actually going to bring up another map too, so we can get the true understanding. Okay. Okay. All of these maps are very significant in what we're talking about. This first map, what you have to understand is that this first map is a map of the divided kingdom of Israel. Okay? During the time of Christ, or during the time after Christ, in the book of Acts, the kingdom of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, were divided into two separate kingdoms. That's very, very significant. You can't know who Christ came for, if it was Gentiles or not, until you understand that we're talking about two separate kingdoms. Okay? We have the Northern Kingdom, that's in green. There were 10 tribes that went to the north. If you look at northern Israel, you'll understand that there's a place called Dan. And if you look at southern in the green, you'll see where that place is called Bethel. Those are significant because of the tags that they have beside them. They say Jeroboam built the sanctuary. Now, when you go to 1 Kings, the 11th chapter, it is at the end of Solomon's reign. Now, keep in mind that this map is the map that was before 1 Kings, the 11th chapter. This is the map of all 12 tribes of Israel when they left the wilderness, right? You know the story of Jericho, walking around the city of Jericho in the land of Canaan, okay? Walk around the city 7 times and blowing the trumpet, and the walls fell, okay? This is Canaan land, and this is the dividing of the kingdom and the boundaries that were given to each tribe. So you had all 12 tribes of Israel in a united kingdom. This is significant, okay? This is after the time in Egypt, 40 years in the wilderness, and then going into the promised land, Battle of Jericho. Israelites are in their boundaries, as you can see. You see Simeon is 1, Judah is 2, Reuben is 3, Benjamin is 4, Dan is 5, Ephraim is 6, Gad is 7, Manasseh is 8, Issachar is 9, Zebulun 10, Naphtali 11, and Asher is 12. This is the united kingdom of Israel. If you'll notice, you'll see that all of the northern kingdom tribes were already in the northern kingdom, oddly enough, okay? Now, you'll see the southern kingdom tribes is Benjamin, Judah, and Levi is not listed because Levi had no land allotment or inheritance. They were the priesthood, okay? So that's why you don't see Levi on this particular map. And Dan, you see Dan there, and they were later cast out and actually dispersed amongst the other tribes because they didn't come off the ship. That's in Judges 5, but that's neither here nor there. But if you'll notice, only two tribes, Reuben and Simeon, and then some of Gad as well, was already in the southern kingdom. Now the boundary would go right under, well, really right above Dan, and actually through Mount Ephraim, which is in the middle of Ephraim's land. Okay? All the way across the river Jordan, all the way over to the portion of Gad. Okay, so many of the, let me just say that the majority of the northern kingdom tribes were already in the northern kingdom. And as well, when you also read 1 Kings, the 11th chapter, you'll notice that Solomon put Jeroboam, his servant, who actually became the king over the 10 northern tribes, right? He put him over all of the affairs of the house of Joseph. Why is that significant? Because Joseph is the father of both Ephraim and Manasseh. And as you can see, Ephraim was the younger son. That's why you cross your hands when you on graduation and you about to get your diploma, and you cross your hands. Well, that comes from your forefather Ephraim, okay? Because Joseph crossed his hands before giving the blessing, and instead of giving the blessing to the older son Manasseh, he gave it to his younger son Ephraim. Okay, and so Manasseh had to be a huge tribe because he's on both sides of the Jordan River. Okay, these things are significant to understand. Okay, now, the first king of the United Kingdom of Israel was King Saul. He was from the tribe of Benjamin. He ruled for 40 years. King David ruled after King Saul, and King David ruled for 40 years just as well, and his son Solomon ruled after him. That's a total of 120 years that the Lord gave the United Kingdom of Israel rest. Now, keep in mind that David was the only king out of those three kings to rule after the Most High's own heart. Okay? He was the only honorable ruler of the United Kingdom of Israel. Okay? Now, keep in mind that Solomon, the reason why Solomon lost the kingdom is because Solomon married the women of these heathen nations who they're saying that Cornelius is bringing into, that the Most High is going to Cornelius to represent all of the heathens. And I don't, it's weird. You don't believe that the Gentiles can be saved, but you believe that Cornelius is a Gentile. So you don't believe they can be saved, but the Most High sent Peter to draw out a nation from Cornelius, who is a Gentile, but he didn't draw out any nations and he didn't bring any of them into salvation. It doesn't make any sense at all. But let's continue. All right. So now, all right. So this is how the kingdom was during the time of Acts, the 15th chapter. You had the northern kingdom, as you could see, it's called Samaria. Okay. And the southern kingdom is called Judea. All right. Often being said, it's often called Jerusalem. You also, the inhabitants there, Benjamin, Judah, and Levi, they were known as Jews. Why? Because Judah was the kingship tribe of the southern kingdom, or the house of Judah. And understand that the northern kingdom was known as the house of Israel and the Gentiles. If you'll notice, when you go into the scriptures, you'll see there is a land or area right by the Sea of Galilee called Galilee, and the scriptures call it Galilee of the Gentiles, which is in the land of Zebulun and Naphtali. You see that? You see the Sea of Galilee here? It's the same landmass, right? You see Naphtali and Zebulun? Okay, they call it Galilee of the Gentiles, meaning that the Northern Kingdom Israelites, once they started to worship the golden calf that Jeroboam put in Dan and in Bethel, because Jeroboam told them that this is your gods. He took the golden calf because he knew that if the 10 tribes kept returning back to the southern kingdom to keep the feast days, the high holy days, to listen to the Levites make sense of the law, that their heart will return back to the southern kingdom. And actually, he said, and they will kill me. So he conspired in his mind and in his heart to make 2 golden calves. He went to the 10 tribes and he said, behold thy God, O Israel, the God that took thee up out of the land of Egypt. As a matter of fact, let's go there, because that's very significant for you to understand. If you don't know this history, you do not know what you're talking about when it comes to the Gentiles and who's going to be saved and who Christ came for, the circumcision, the uncircumcision. You don't understand that. It's just the facts. Okay, so now let's go into it. All right, and this is 1 Kings. I want to go into 1 Kings chapter 12. First Kings chapter 12. And we're going to start, wait a minute, hold up. 1 Kings chapter 12. Okay. Okay. So I want you to, let's start at verse 1. Right, and so that we can line this thing up. And Rehoboam, now Rehoboam was the son of Solomon. He went to Shechem, for all Israel were come to Shechem to make him king. Now, let's see what Shechem is. Okay, let's make sure we, now the kingdom, during this time, all 12 tribes were united during the time of that Rehoboam came into the kingship, okay? And now he said that, and I'll zoom in there, okay? As you can see, that Shechem is right above Ephraim, okay? In the northern kingdom, okay? Once the kingdoms are divided, understand that they'll be divided right below Ephraim. Let me actually pull up the divided kingdom map. Understand that Shechem is in the northern kingdom area. Okay? Understand, Samaria is the northern kingdom. And I might add, I want to make sure that you understand, Cornelius is from Caesarea. Okay? So you just keep that in mind. Okay? All right. In the land of Samaria, in the northern kingdom. All right? All right. All right. So now, let's go back to 1 Kings. Let's go back to 1 Kings chapter 12. And I think I want to start right at about you have to go back and read and see how Rehoboam went to the elders who told them that, if he would serve the people and speak good words to them, that they would serve him forever. But even though the temple had already been built, and the 10 tribes was asking Rehoboam to make their load lighter, he ended up not taking the advice of the elders and actually took the advice of the men that he grew up with, okay, who told him to make their yoke even harder, okay? And so as a result, the 10 tribes split from the southern kingdom. 10 tribes went to the north in the land of Samaria and left the 3 tribes, Benjamin, Judah, and Levi, in the southern kingdom, or the house of Israel and the house of Judah, okay? So now, and I'll start at the 19th verse. So Israel rebelled against the house of David unto this day. And it came to pass, when all Israel heard that Jeroboam was come again, that they sent and called him unto the congregation, and made him king over all Israel. There was none that followed the house of David, but the tribe of Judah only. And when Rehoboam was come to Jerusalem, he assembled all the house of Judah and the tribe of Benjamin. So now we have Benjamin, Judah, and Levi. Now, Levi were the priests. They weren't going to go to war, okay? So they're talking about Rehoboam assembling the tribe of Judah and the tribe of Benjamin to go to war and to bring the 10 tribes back. Now, pay attention. Now, he ain't been listening to the Lord at all up until this time. But when he think that he gonna take 2 tribes and go and battle them 10 tribes, you'll see how he gets some clarity. Okay, 21st verse. And when Rehoboam was come to Jerusalem, he assembled all the house of Judah with the tribe of Benjamin, 180,000 chosen men, which were warriors, to fight against the house of Israel, to bring the kingdom again to Rehoboam the son of Solomon. But the word of God came unto Shemaiah, the man of God, saying, Speak unto Rehoboam the son of Solomon, king of Judah, and unto all of the house of Judah and Benjamin, and to the remnant of the people, saying, Thus saith the Lord, Ye shall not go up, nor fight against your brethren, the children of Israel. Return every man to his house, for this thing is from me. They hearkened therefore to the word of the Lord, and returned to depart according to the word of the Lord. They thought about running up on them 10 tribes, and they did not want that smoke. Okay? 25th verse. Then Jeroboam built Shechem in Mount Ephraim. Remember I told you where it was? Shechem. See, that map don't have it. He built Shechem in Mount Ephraim. It's a mountainous region right here, okay? So you'll know where it is. All right? All right. So he started out with Shechem being the capital city, in other words, all right? It would later become Samaria, okay? All right. Then Jeroboam built Shechem in Mount Ephraim and dwelt therein, and went out from thence and built Peniel. And Jeroboam said in his heart, Now shall the kingdom return to the house of David, meaning that the 10 tribes are going to go back to the southern kingdom. If this people go up to do sacrifices in the house of the Lord at Jerusalem, then shall the heart of this people turn again unto their Lord, even unto Rehoboam, king of Judah, and they shall kill me and go again to Rehoboam, king of Judah. Do you understand what's going on? Whereupon the king took counsel and made 2 calves of gold, and said unto them, It is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem. Behold thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. Understand? He is talking to the 10 northern kingdom tribes. The God that took you out of the land of Egypt. The Most High did not take Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites out of the land of Egypt. Okay? He took the Israelites out of the land of Egypt. All right? And he said, one in Bethel and the other put he in Dan. Let me show you that again. He put one in Bethel and the other put he in Dan. Okay? So you see those two spots, right? In the Northern Kingdom. Okay? At the time the map looked like this. Okay? At the time, Dan and Bethel, right? All right. It looked like that at the time. All right. Then it was divided into two separate kingdoms. All right. So now, let's go back to Acts, the 15th chapter. Okay? And we're going to read the second verse. When therefore Paul and Barnabas had no small dissension and disputation with them, they determined that Paul and Barnabas and certain other of them should go up to Jerusalem unto the apostles and elders about this question. So these brothers that was from Judea, of Benjamin, Judah, or Levi, all right? These were learned brothers, right? And they went to Paul and Barnabas and was asking Paul and Barnabas, wait a minute, these brothers need to be circumcised. These Israelites need to be circumcised by the manner of Moses, or they cannot be saved. Now, keep in mind that Christ taught the exact same thing. Okay? I'm say it again. Christ taught the exact same thing, and I'll prove it. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 23, and I'll start at verse 1. This is Christ teaching. Okay? Verse 1. Then spake Jesus to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. All therefore, whatsoever they bid you, observe, whatsoever they bid you, observe, that observe and do. But do not after their works, for they say and do not. Wait a minute. Let me read that again. Then spake Jesus to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. All therefore whatsoever they bid you, observe, that observe and do, but do not after their works, for they say and do not. Okay? For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. Now, I want you to understand how significant this is with Acts 15 and Acts 10 and Jeremiah 31 and Amos 9. Okay? Because this same discussion is being had in Acts the 15th chapter. The brothers are teaching that these Gentiles, these Northern Kingdom Israelites and Southern Kingdom Israelites, and please keep in mind, let me make sure that I qualify that. Okay? The brothers say this and the brothers say that. No, let's go to the scriptures and prove it. All right? This is what happened to the Southern Kingdom brothers. This is the book of Maccabees. First Maccabees, chapter 1. And I mean, this, you got to go back and read the book of Maccabees. It's on another level. Let me just say that. But you got to get your precepts in order first for you to even understand what's going on. But anyway, so let's start at the 11th verse. All right. As a matter of fact, every time I come to this chapter, I always try to find the best place to grab it, and it's always a challenge. Okay, so let me start at verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim and had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. Now, I have to explain this as well. First and foremost, the Hellenistic culture, okay? The reason why you have Israelites today, you have so-called black people calling themselves Greeks, okay? They are emulating Edomites that converted to be Greeks. And this is the story, okay? First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 1 is explaining how Alexander was the son of Philip the Macedonians. The Macedonians, the comma, when it says, who came out of the land of Kittim. What it means is that Alexander, after his father was assassinated by a member of his own army, right? The Macedonian phalanx is the name of his army because the ancient Greeks were in their government. Hellenism was in control of Macedonia, okay? Macedonia is just south of ancient Athens, Greece, okay? And understand that Alexander grew up under Hellenistic culture, all right? Which is why he spread Hellenistic culture instead of Macedonian culture, okay, everywhere that he went. Now, keep in mind that it says that he came out of the land of Kittim. Kittim is a descendant of Noah's son, Japheth's son, Javan, and his name is Kittim. Okay? This is a nationality. This is a nation of people. They are the ancient Greeks. They were the initial or the first Greeks on the planet Earth. It was not the Edomites. It was the sons of Japheth's son, Javan and Kittim, who created Hellenistic culture. Okay? And he had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and the Medes. Your Persians are your modern day Iranians. Okay? The Persians and the Medes, that is Darius was king over Persia, as well as he was the king over Kittim at this time, because the Medo-Persian Empire had conquered the ancient Greeks first. All right, before the Macedonians came in under Alexander. Okay, and that's why it says that he reigned first over Greece, meaning the first Edomite to reign over Greece. All right. And made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth, and went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him. Whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up. Now, you have to understand that Alexander was a very young king, but he had a fully intact army. So when he went to war, understand he had his father's army, right? So, of course, he was proud and arrogant, as Edomites are, okay? I don't know why anyone would think that the Most High would use an Edomite to bring in all of the, I don't even know what the purpose, if the Gentiles can't be saved, I don't even know what the purpose of Cornelius would even be anyway. If he's not an Edomite, then, or if he's a heathen, what's the point of him being a Gentile at all? and being an Edomite at all. Okay, but anyway, so let's go on. and went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him. Whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up, meaning that he was proud, as Edom is. Go to the book of Obadiah. It would explain all of it. Okay? And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him, meaning that they paid him tribute or taxes, so that you can understand. Okay? And after these things he fell sick and perceived that he should die. Whereupon he called his servants, such as were honorable men and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. Okay? Do you understand what's going on? Okay? Now keep in mind that Alexander only reigned 12 years. And he exalted honorable men, or the men that he came up with. And keep in mind that Alexander died of syphilis. Syphilis is a venereal disease that you get from bestiality. Let me just say that. Okay? There are animal brothels in Europe. Okay? Now you understand the 40-year Tuskegee experiment and why they did that experiment for 40 years on black men. Because you had Europeans coming over in what was known as the Homestead Act. Maybe you heard Martin Luther King explain that act to you, where they brought Europeans over to bolster their numbers, and they gave them land, and they gave them farming equipment, and they taught them how to land, and they subsidized their land so that they can grow land and so that they can bring their people over. But then the Europeans were coming over with this venereal disease that you get from animals called syphilis. Okay? Okay, syphilis. Okay, anyway, all right? So now, 7th verse. So Alexander reigned 12 years, and then he died. And his servants bare rule, every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years. And evils were multiplied in the earth. So now you understand the face of the fourth and final beast, the Edomites, right? The last ruling kingdom of the earth, right? You see their beginning, right? Then Alexander dies. He puts the crowns on the head of his friends first, and then they put the crowns on the heads of their sons, the dukes of the earth. Okay? Look up the definition for duke, and you'll understand that it is the highest ranking of the British peerage or peerage or Peerage, okay? So that you can understand. All right? So understand that duke is the highest ranking royal, in other words, highest ranking royal position, right? Taking you back to Edom. All right. So now, the 10th verse. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surname Epiphanes. Why is this significant? Because the land where the Israelites were first called Christians by unbelievers and heathens was Antioch. Antioch was named after Antiochus Epiphanes. Please keep in mind that the Greeks, Edomites, joined the Roman Edomites, who were not the original Romans either, okay? The Edomite convert Romans to create what was known as the Greco-Roman Empire and later just the Roman Empire. Okay? It's a whole lot of history about Rome falling and 192 AD and so on and so forth. Okay, but we're not going to get into that now. 10th verse. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surname Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been a hostage at Rome. Now you see the tie-in between Greek and Rome. Now you see the tie-in between the Edomites of Greece and the Greek Edomites and the Roman Edomites. Okay? And you might notice that the father of this image that you call, that is the Google Jesus, Caesar Borgia, his father was Pope Alexander the Sixth of Rome, which was the oldest pope of his time. Okay? And understand he named himself after Alexander. Why? Because Alexander was an Edomite just like him. Okay? All right. So let's continue. All right. In those days, well, as a matter of fact, I want to read 10 again. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been a hostage at Rome and reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. So 137 years after Alexander reigned is when Antiochus Epiphanes began to reign. Now, pay attention to what's going on. At the time that Antiochus is reigning, understand that Jerusalem is being held captive by the Greeks, the Edomite Greeks, right? And so when Antiochus gets in office, 137 years after Alexander the Great, they are in control of both Jerusalem, or the Southern Kingdom of Benjamin, Judah, and Levi. Let me pull up the map. The Greek Edomites are in rulership of Jerusalem and of Egypt. Okay? And it's going to explain that in just a second. But just so that you understand that the Southern Kingdom is Benjamin, Judah, and Levi. And Antiochus is the king over Jerusalem and Egypt, over 2 realms. All right? So now, let's keep going. All right? In those days went there out of Israel, talking about the Southern Kingdom, wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. Please understand that the Most High classifies any Israelite male that teaches other Israelites to join in covenant with the heathen as wicked men. Please understand that your black Christian pastor was the first down low brother. Your enemy has always chosen the persuasive Israelites to persuade other Israelites to join them in covenant. Do you understand that? To join, to cleave unto the heathen. They use those type of men. Now you understand why they chose Martin Luther King. Okay? Martin Luther King tried his best to tell you that you were the Israelites. The March on Washington, the speech, the I Have a Dream speech was directly out of the book of Ezekiel. Okay? He said, I have been to the mountaintop. I have seen the coming of the glory of the Lord. I may not get to the promised land, but you will get to the promised land. Who was the land promised to? The Israelites. Duh. Now do you understand why 2 weeks later he was down on a balcony? Huh? And he did not die on the balcony. He died in the hospital because he was smothered by the doctor, okay, in a Memphis hospital, okay, per his attorney, okay, for the receipts, all right? Now, you have wicked Israelites that are persuading other Israelites of the Southern Kingdom of Benjamin, Judah, and Levi to make a covenant with the heathen, right? And so, for the same reasons, mind you, as our forefathers, when they were in the wilderness for those 40 years, complaining about going back, murmuring and complaining about going to Egypt for the same reason. For since we left them, we have had much sorrow. You remember that? Go back to the wilderness. All right. 12th verse. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so froward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. That's why you have people, black people, running around calling themselves African, black people running around calling themselves Greek, calling themselves Republicans and Democrats and Christians, and running the gambit. Why do you think that America chooses comedians and actors and rappers and pastors, black Christian pastors, to lead you, to be your leaders? You know, I wrote a little status today, and I said, you know why the civil rights movement failed? Because white Jesus was at the front of it. Okay? You do understand that no nation in the history of the world has ever received freedom or revolution through nonviolence. Do you know how many sisters were dogs was released on them and water holes was released on them? And do you know how many black people died? You do understand that Rosa Parks was a stand-in. You do understand that Claudette Colvin was actually a young, teenage, pregnant, dark brown-skinned sister who would not have the same appeal to jump off the civil rights movement. So they used Miss Rosa Parks, who was a secretary at the NAACP. Okay, which was also started by Edomites. Okay, just like all of your black colleges and universities were started by Edomites. Okay, your Spelman College is named after Rockefeller's wife. Okay, all right. So now let's keep going. Okay. Then certain of the people were so far herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the custom of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. Maybe you understand the title of my book now. Maybe you understand why we chose the title of Sold to Do Mischief. Okay? Forsaking the holy covenant. How the heathen destroyed the Israelites. Maybe you can understand why now. Okay? Maybe you can get it now. Okay? And you can go to shopwildgoods.com to order that. You can also get full access on our Patreon page at Nazareth is the Hood podcast. So let's continue. All right. Okay. 16th verse. Now when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he thought to reign over Egypt, that he might have dominion over 2 realms. Wherefore he entered into Egypt with a great multitude, with chariots and elephants and horsemen, and a great navy, and made war against Ptolemy, king of Egypt. But Ptolemy was afraid of him and fled, and many were wounded to death. Okay, so I'll go on down. That's just talking about him conquering Egypt, going in and conquering Egypt. So the ancient Greeks never conquered Egypt. It was the Edomite convert Greeks, okay? Right? So a lot of that Egyptian culture that you love so much, of those dog head gods and bird head gods, and they were idol worshipers, okay? And we do not descend from the ancient Hamites. We descend from the ancient Israelites, okay? All right? It's over 50 countries in Africa. 50 countries. When the Africans come to America, they don't call themselves African American, do they? Maybe you should ask Charlize Theron and Elon Musk. They're both from South Africa. Are they African Americans? Okay. You were driven down into Africa, into West Africa, because you followed the prophecy of Matthew, the 24th chapter, where Christ told you, when Jerusalem is compassed with armies, flee into the mountains. They're the mountains of West Africa. Okay? All right. So anyway, let's keep going. Let's go down to 24th verse. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre, and spoken very proudly. Therefore, there was a great mourning in Israel, in every place where they were, so that the princes and elders mourned. The virgins and young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed. Every bridegroom took up lamentations, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness. The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion. This is speaking of the southern kingdom, okay? The Greeks took over the southern kingdom of Israel. It was divided at this time. This is right before the New Testament and the coming of Christ. The kingdom was divided into 2 separate kingdoms, which is where the truth will cut off the ring for you. Because if you're saying that Cornelius was used and he was a heathen to come in, to bring him in, then that means that he was brought in or reconciled back to the to a divided kingdom, because you still had the northern and the southern kingdom. The kingdom was still divided, right? So if you're going to say that in the book of Acts, and understand the kingdom was still divided in the book of Acts, please understand that, okay? The kingdom was still divided. It was after Christ was resurrected and is on the right hand of the Father. The kingdom is divided into 2 separate kingdoms. It has not been brought into one kingdom, like Ezekiel the 37th chapter says. Still 2 separate kingdoms. Okay? So that you can understand. So surely you don't think that the heathen was brought back into the fold before the kingdom was brought back together, do you? Okay. See, the truth will cut the ring off and go to the body. It's nowhere to run. You cannot run. This Bible is thorough and surgical. Surgical. It don't matter how long you've been teaching. Okay? You got to deal with this. Okay? All right. So now, let's go on. 29th verse. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the city of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude, and spake peaceable words unto them. But all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city, and smote it very sore, and destroyed much people of Israel. And when he had taken spoil of the city, he set it on fire, and pulled down the houses and the walls thereof on every side. But the women and children took they captive, and possessed the cattle. That's another thing. The remnant of Edom is their possessions. Okay? And the possessions of the heathen. Okay? All right? Let's keep going. Then builded they the city of David with a great and strong wall, and with mighty towers, and made it a stronghold for them. And they put therein a sinful nation, wicked men, and fortified themselves therein. They stored it also with armor and victuals, and when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up there. And so they became a sore snare. For it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary, an evil adversary to Israel. Thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary, and defiled it. Okay? So now, the Most High is going to bring up that Edom shed innocent blood. Okay? That's a part of his judgment. And please understand, his judgment was written before he ever came out the womb. And Israel was sanctified by the Lamb slain before the foundation of the earth. The truth will walk you down and go to the body. It's nowhere to run and hide. When was the heathen sanctified? When was Cornelius sanctified? Let's continue. Insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them, whereupon the city was made a habitation of strangers, and became strange unto those that were born in her, and her own children left her. This is where the Southern Kingdom Israelites of Benjamin, Judah, and Levi, who made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves unto the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. Do you understand what's going on? The truth will cut the ring off and go to the body. It's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. The truth is undefeated. So that you can understand. All right, let's continue. So I'll read 38 again. Insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them, whereupon the city was made a habitation of strangers. So you had the Southern Kingdom, Benjamin, Judah, and Levi. They fled into the lands, into Roman provinces like Corinth and Cappadocia and Thessalonica and Pontus and so on. Do you understand? They fled into these lands, and they joined themselves unto the heathen, and they started to worship their gods. Why do you think Paul's ministry went to the synagogues in these lands? Hello? Is anyone home? He didn't go to a synagogue in Moab and in Ammon, did he? Hello? Is anyone there? Hello? Let's continue. Her sanctuary was laid waste like a wilderness. Her feasts were turned into mourning, her Sabbath into reproach, her honor into contempt. As had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased, and her excellency was turned into mourning. Okay? Does everybody understand what's going on? Jerusalem has fallen. Okay? The enemy has conquered, and the Southern Kingdom Israelites have gone into captivity to the Edomite Greeks, the Edomites who converted to Greece, to be Greeks. Now, let's pay attention to where you get your religion called Christianity and where the doctrine comes from. It comes from the Edomites who took their face and put it on Christ's face. But you didn't know they were making an image unto the beast as they were instructed by Satan himself. Revelations chapter 13, but we're not going there today. Okay? 41st verse. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. What does Catholic mean? It means universal. You know how the heathen gonna be saved? That is a universal Catholic Christian doctrine. Do you understand that? That all should be one people. That's the first thing he said. All should be one people. Look at what he says next. That all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. Don't Catholicism and Christianity, please understand that the Roman Catholic Church gave you all of your religions. The Roman Catholic Church gave you Islam. You can go on and you can look at the Pope kissing the Quran because they made up the religion for you. Okay? Then they caused you to go and worship a stone. Remember, the scripture says that the Israelites would be in a strange land and they will worship both wood and stone. That's your old rugged cross of Christianity and that cobblestone in Mecca, of which until you make your Hajj and go and walk around that black cube that the Edomites that are in the land that they calling themselves Israelites, the Revelations 2 and 9 and 3 and 9s, wear on their forehead the same black cube that's around the cobblestone, that is surrounded by a chrome female phallic symbol. Okay, so that you can understand. Okay. And you do remember that Allah was nowhere to be found during COVID because you were the first place to be shut down. The churches and the cobblestone and the mosque. Remember? Okay. All righty. Let's keep going here. All right. And everyone should leave his laws. So did the heathen agree according to the commandment of this king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrifice unto idols and profane the Sabbath. So it's nothing new. The black Christian pastor understand that the black Christian pastor was the highest position a black man could hold in 1775. Before that, it was house slave. Do you understand that? You don't get that. You don't comprehend that. Okay? Do you understand what you had to do in order to be found worthy to teach his property? Do you understand what you had to teach? Okay, I'm going to show you an image because I don't think you, I think you think it's a game, okay? So let me show you something, man. Let me show you something. Okay. So now this is a pastor don't nobody run with no more. They, I mean, it was, he's a power bottom now. But this is one of the leading mega church pastors, and as you can see, what he is doing. Okay. During the season, he did his part. Him and his wife did their part to get you, get the black church to do their part. Okay? Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up to your attention and understand that this is the spirit of the black Christian pastor. This is what he does. Okay? He proves to his master that he has unconditional love and support for him. Okay? He'll do anything for him. All right? Now, let me show you another brother, if you don't mind. Let's see. Let's see if we can. All right. Let's see if we can. Okay. Yeah, Trump wanted this image out of the museum. I don't know if you can see that on the screen or not. But this image is called Peter. Okay. Now, what you have to understand is that Peter is another word for saying rock. It's also the disciple that the Most High, that Christ, the Son of the Most High, chose to build the foundation of the Israelites on. He said, on this rock I will build my church. He did not mean a building with a swine eater in the pulpit. That's ridiculous, okay? He meant the Israelites. He means the United Kingdom of Israel, all 12 tribes. That is the church of Christ, okay? I don't want to say no more than that because I don't want to say no more than that. Anyway, so his name is Peter. What you have to understand is that this brother was not a black Christian pastor. You can tell by his back. And Peter means rock. So if you look at his back, it kind of looks like a rock, right? Doesn't a rock kind of look with striations and all of that on there? Okay. To show that he was hard. He was rebellious. Okay. He was quite the complete opposite of anyone that would be allowed to be a pastor. Okay. Because they had a hard time controlling him. That's why you didn't hear anything about him in Black History Month. That's why his image was never up above the chalkboard around the top of your elementary school room. You understand? All of those black people were bootlickers, so you can understand. All right? Now, you may recall that Will Smith starred in a movie to commemorate this image where he played this slave known as Peter. Okay? And the irony of it all is that before the movie was released, you may recall that Will Smith walked up on the stage and slapped Chris Rock. And after the Oscars, the movie Emancipation in 2022 was released. Okay. The movie that shows, and if you get a chance, go to your Apple movies, right? And pull up the movie, and you'll notice the black Christian pastor preaching at the work site of the slaves. Slaves, obey your master as unto the Lord, to show you the purpose of the black Christian pastor. If you recall, Nat Turner was taught to read so that he could do the same thing as George Liele, Liele, who was the first black Christian pastor, okay, to be ordained, to be the pastor over the first African Baptist church on a slave plantation in Savannah, Georgia. This slave plantation also had Hebrew writing in the only place that the black slaves could sit, in the pews and the balcony upstairs in the church. Now, what are Africans doing writing in ancient Hebrew? You've been had, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? And so it takes lessons like these that you would hopefully take and start to wake up. But let's keep reading, okay? Because maybe it's some more information about Antiochus Epiphanes' religious decree. The 44th verse, and the king had sent letter by messenger unto Jerusalem, the city of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, like Christianity, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple. And they should profane the Sabbath and the festival days. You see, that's the reason why you would just with your family and your in-laws, and you probably was with your uncle who molested you or whatever the case may be, sitting around celebrating a massacre of the Israelites. The Native Americans, you know, they're your people too. And do you notice that many so-called Indians were native to the land? And Thanksgiving is a celebration of the massacre, because the Edomites massacred over 70 million of them. And you commemorate them. And guess what? That's nothing strange, because next month you'll be worshiping Satan full stop. You just call him Santa. Same letters, just mixed up. With a white cross and a red suit. You know what the Hebrew word for Edom is? It's red. You know, the one that you give the credit, you work all year, and you give the credit to, say, you know, tell your children a lie and say that he's going to come down your chimney and eat those cookies. Do you understand that the reason why you see candy and food on Buddha when you go into the nail shop is because the people that own the shop, they worship Buddha and they feed their idols. You do understand that, right? And that's the reason why you make milk and cookies and you bite out of one, so that you can lie to your children and make them think that Santa came, right? He knows when you sleeping, know when you awake. So a whole lot like Christ, man, ain't it? Okay. But instead of being good and following God's laws, you be good for goodness sake. You be good so that you can get some gifts from Santa Claus. You see why your children have such a hard time adapting in life? Because their first teachers only teach them lies. Their first teachers never tell them who their enemy is. Just let them just go out in the world. You're the only species on the planet Earth that does not teach their young who the enemy is. So they go out and they emulate and they bark like dogs and they woo woo and they ski wee like demons. And can't tell nothing's going on. Right? And get in the pulpit and preach every week, sow a seed, get a blessing. Every week. And no Christians are in the Bible. Neither is the tithe money. 46th verse, and pollute the sanctuary and the holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. You know how you searching through the scriptures to find out how you can eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster? And you know that Christ sent demons into the swine and sent them off the cliff. And you do understand that the crabs in the ocean and the lobsters do the exact same thing as the swine does on earth. I mean, but that make about as much sense as you driving around all of Atlanta trying to find a seeded watermelon, but just to go home to worship a seedless Jesus. So, you go figure. 49th verse. Oh, 48th verse. This is a nice one. I know you're going to dig this. 48th verse. That they should also, no, I want to go 47th verse. I missed that one. 47. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. And keep in mind that your chapel that has the cross on the front of it, the one that you wear around your neck, that is the unaliving weapon of Christ. Now, think about that for a second. If your uncle was unalive by a 45, would you wear a 45 around your neck? How much sense does it make? Okay, all right. 48th verse. That they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanliness and profanation. Do you understand what's going on? So the Israelites were to leave their children uncircumcised. You know why? Because they wanted to cut them away from the covenant promises that was only made to the forefathers of the Israelites. That was the marking in your flesh, in a man's flesh. That's why a woman needs a husband, because she cannot be circumcised. You understand that? That's why she needs a covering. Okay? 49th verse. To the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. So see, this is the thing. This is what bothers me about the black Christian pastor. This is what I just, I don't want to be no kind of way. I'm saying that repent, lay your life down, be born again, and be retaught. If you don't, your ass is grass. I just have to let you know. I mean, this is a warning. Okay. When you're going into harm's way, and you're going into eternal torment and destruction, I'm sure you would want someone to raise their voice to warn you. And I'm trying with all my power to remain calm, but to warn you, repent and lay your life down. Step down out of the pulpit. Please go and read Jeremiah chapter 23, okay? Actually, yep. Jeremiah 25, Jeremiah chapter 25 or Jeremiah chapter 23. It starts out with, woe unto the pastors that scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord. You will be held accountable for every word, okay? I'm warning you. In the self same manner, wrote he to his whole kingdom and appointed overseers over all the people. Overseers, officer, over all the people, commanding the city of Judah to sacrifice city by city. That many of the people were gathered unto him, to wit, everyone that forsook the law, and so they committed evils in the land. See, this is why you have black Republicans and black Democrats, and why you wrap yourself all around the wall and you so involved with these folk politics, and you Candace Owens and you Tyler Perry's and you TD Fakes and you Creep Your Dollars and you, do you understand that these people are laughing at you, man? They hate your guts. And you hate your own people because they make you feel special. I was watching Eddie Murphy. I couldn't finish all of it just watching, Eddie Murphy, because I just got to thinking, and I enjoy Eddie. Eddie is a great entertainer. But what have you accomplished in life when all you've done is perform? I'm just saying, what have you accomplished by 40, 50 years of performing and being an actor and a court gesture and making people laugh for 40 years? What have you accomplished? But get what? You are acceptable. Because surely you will not teach the Israelites to keep the commandments. And you wonder why they pay you so much. Are you that funny? You really are that funny? You and Tyler Perry. Isn't it ironic that a man that dresses up and pretends to be a pillar in the black community? Dear, what? You mean to tell me that you can make mockery of dear? And black folks love it. We see you. Just to let you know, we see you. And get what? You're going to have to put that dress up real soon, because black people are waking up. We see you going to Marvin Wayans after he disrespected that sister in front of the whole church because she shorted him $800 in her tithe. She gave you $1,200, clown. Well, that's not what I told you to do. And soon as Tyler Perry hears about it, he sends Marvin Wayans $100,000 of mud deer money. Has anybody wondered? Now you got these big old studios, and you the highest paid black actor, and you this and you that, but you can't stop playing mud deer. What is it, mud deer 29? You said you were tired of mud deer. You said you were gonna stop it, but then they sent you that little message, huh? Okay. Yeah. You have no power in this kingdom, man. None. All right. Then many of the people were gathered unto them, to where everyone that forsook the law, and so they committed evils in the land, meaning, the Christians. Okay. You forsake the law at every turn, right? Right? And you join yourself unto the heathen. Because guess what? Before you start your conversation, this is the main thing with you Christians. You black Christians, you all every just notice them. Oh, well, I love everybody. I'm not a racist. Oh, I love everybody. No, no, I'm nothing like that. Trying to set yourself apart from other black people, man. For some reason, we got to love everybody. No matter how much we destroy it, we got to love everybody. You got black people running around with a red hat on, Edom colored hat, with "Make America Great Again" on it. And cannot answer the question, when was America great? Anyway, and drove the Israelites into secret places, even whatsoever they could flee for succor. Now the 15th day of the month Caslu, in the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar. Now understand that this is an idol. They put an idol in the Holy of Holies, in the temple that Solomon built. Okay, there was an area called the Holy of Holies that the Spirit of the Most High was in. Okay, that's where the Ark of the Covenant was as well. Only the high priest could go into the Holy of Holies behind the veil every year. Okay? And what they would do is that they would tie a rope around his ankle, and the bottom of the garment, there was a pomegranate and a bell, a pomegranate and a bell all around the bottom of the priest's garment, of the Levitical priest's garment. And the reason why the bells were on the bottom of the garment was because if they went in and they lit an incense wrong, or in the wrong order, or they knocked over the showbread, then the Most High put them to death. And they would hit the ground in the Holy of Holies, and they would pull them out by the rope. The Most High does not play games, man. Neither will he choose an Edomite to do anything but play the wicked. So you can understand. Let's continue. 55th verse. Well, I read 54 again. Now the 15th day of the month Caslu, in the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar, and built idol altars throughout the city of Judah on every side, and burnt incense at the door of their houses and in the streets. And when they had rent in pieces the book of the law, which they found, they burnt them with fire. And whosoever was found with any of the book of the testament, or if any committed to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death. 58th verse. Thus did they, by their authority, unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the city. Now in the 5th and 20th day of the month, they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of God. So when I'm telling you, I mean, that's why I try to replace pagan with satanic. Because it's pagan, it's pagan, it's pagan. Well, what about it's satanic? It's worshiping Satan. It's worshiping demons. How about that? You still gonna celebrate it? Probably so. Because your house already decked out. Right? Your house already looked like Jeremiah 10th chapter. You done already took a tree out of the forest and decked it with silver and gold, that it moved not. Okay? You done already did that. Some of you professionals at it. Okay? You professionals at worshiping Satan. I mean, just think about that. Okay? Let's continue. 56. And when they had rent in pieces the book of the law, which they found, they burnt them with fire. What is the book of the law? The Bible. And whosoever was found with any of the book of the testament, or if any committed to the law, the king's commandment was that they should be put to death. Thus did they, by their authority unto the Israelites, every month to as many as were found in the cities. Now in the 25th day of the month, they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of God. At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised. You see them, sisters? That was the same thing that happened in Egypt when them Hebrew women, when the Pharaoh said that the Hebrew women are stronger than the Egyptian women. And so he sent out the decree that all firstborn, sent out to the midwife, the Israelite midwives, that all the firstborn should be put to death when they come out of the womb. And Pharaoh's daughter made pitch, put together pitch and straw, and put Moses, the Levitical priest, who's from the son of Levi, okay, and put him in that straw pitch little boat that she made, and put him in the stream, and he rolled down to the stream and was picked up. Well, no, the Pharaoh, the midwife, put him, made the little straw boat or whatever the case may be, and put him in the stream. And Pharaoh's daughter picked him up. And Pharaoh and Moses lived in Pharaoh's house for 40 years as Pharaoh's grandson. How can the Revelation 2:9 and the Revelation 3:9 be Pharaoh's grandson? How do they look like Egyptians? Huh? Okay. Would anybody think that the Revelation 2:9 and 3:9 was an Egyptian? Anyway, all right. So 60th verse. At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised. And they hanged the infants about their necks, and they rifled their houses, and slew them that had circumcised them. Howbeit, many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing. So while you searching the scriptures so you can eat, so you can have a hog in the middle of your table with an apple in his mouth, okay? And so you can eat your honey-baked ham, okay? While you scrambling to find in the scriptures how you can eat whatever you want to eat, the Israelites of the Southern Kingdom were ready to die than to eat unclean meat. You see how ridiculous you are now? You see how far this Christianity done took you away from the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments? And here's a bulletin. The laws is the truth. The laws is your only power. This is your only power. It's God's laws, statutes, and commandments. It's not your fist. It's not your guns. It's not your gang. It's not your fraternal order. It's not your Freemason brothers. That is no power. You have no power. Do you not get it? It ain't your damn church. The black church took in $800 billion in 10 years. The black church is the fastest way for black dollars to return to white hands. Stop it. Howbeit many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed to themselves not to eat of any unclean thing, wherefore they rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So did they, so then they died. You see, now do you understand the spirit? Now do you understand the spirit of Peter? That he was not going to bow to the image of the beast. Don't you remember Matthew, the 4th chapter, and the 6th verse through the 8th verse? When Satan told Christ to fall down and worship him, he could have all the treasures of the earth. Huh? Did you ever notice that he had to fall down? What does that mean? It means that in order to worship your enemy, or in order to worship the beast, you got to fall down from the position that the Most High placed you over him. But anyway, you'll be dressed up like Santa. Anyway, 64th verse. And there was very great wrath upon Israel. Okay. Now I read that so that you can understand what we're dealing with. Okay. Now let's go back to the 15th verse. Okay. This is Acts chapter 15. All right. We stopped at the 2nd verse. When therefore Paul and Barnabas had no small dissension and disputation with them. In other words, they weren't disputing what they were saying because they know that Christ taught the exact same thing, okay? And that is going to be very relevant in just a second, okay? They determined that Paul and Barnabas and certain other men should go up to Jerusalem unto the apostles and the elders about this question. What is the question? That the Northern Kingdom Israelites and the Southern Kingdom Israelites who were uncircumcised, remember earlier it said that they were uncircumcised. They left themselves uncircumcised, you understand? And they left Jerusalem. They left the kingdom. So you had Southern Kingdom Israelites that went into Corinth, Cappadocia, when they heard about Christ, they heard about him raising the dead, healing the sick, healing the blind. They came back to the land, okay? They came back to the land. All right? All right. And so, 3rd verse. And being brought on their way by the church, they passed through Phoenicia and Samaria, declaring the conversion of the Gentiles, and they caused great joy unto all the brethren. Okay, wait a minute. So let's deal with Phoenicia and Samaria. Where is Phoenicia and Samaria? Now, see, this was my question to the brother. Why do the Most High keep sending his people to Harlem to find an Edomite? If you'll notice at the bottom of this map, Edom borders Judah. Since they wanted the Edomite so bad, why didn't they go to Edom? Why are they continuing to go to Samaria? Please understand, I said earlier that Cornelius was from the hood. The Northern Kingdom is the hood. Now, you see the Northern Kingdom? You notice that word Nazareth? See, that's why we named our podcast Nazareth is the Hood Podcast. Because in John chapter 1 and verse 46, let's see what they said. Maybe I'm making it up. Let's see what John chapter 1 and verse 46 says. In verse 46, let's see what it said. Chapter 1, 46. Okay. Okay. I'll start at the 45th verse. I'll start 44. Now Philip was in Bethesda, the city of Andrew and Peter, meaning the Southern Kingdom. Philip findeth Nathanael and saith unto him, we have found him of whom Moses in the law and the prophets did write, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph. The son of who? Joseph. The son of who? Joseph. Remember, your Jesus is seedless. He's GMO. He doesn't have a father. Remember? Read on, 46th verse. And Nathanael said unto him, can there any good thing come out of Nazareth? Philip saith unto him, come and see. Why did he say that? Because Nazareth was in the hood. It was in the Northern Kingdom where the Gentile Israelites were. And you uppity Southern Kingdom Israelites, you ones that came up in the customs and, you know, you kept the feast days and the high holy days and you were in the temple on the Sabbath day and you still were making sacrifices. Get what? Get what? They was Gentiles to you. Especially after the Most High cut them off from the commonwealth of Israel. They became strangers. So remember, Cornelius lived in Caesarea in the Northern Kingdom, ladies and gentlemen, okay? So you have to answer the question, why does the Most High keep going to the hood to find Caucasians? Anyway, all right. So listen, I'm gonna leave that there. I already done been on here for a long time. I will do a part 2 and a part 3 if need be. Much love, honor, and respect. We appreciate your time.
Yes. Yeah. Can any good thing come out of Nazareth? But they've never walked these streets, never felt this heat. Come and see. Cracked sidewalks, stories in a stone, dreams painted on a corner. We make struggle feel like home. Mama's cooking hope in a one-room flat. Kids skipping rope to the beat of what we lack. Lights flicker, but the spirit's always bright. With the flowers growing wild in the middle of the night. They see broken, we see blessed. Every setback, just another test. It's not what you see, it's what you believe. Come and walk with me. Can any good thing come out of Nazareth? Come and see, come and see. Where the world sees nothing, we find everything we need. Nazareth is the hood, but it's holy ground to me. Roots run poetry turns struggle into steam. Every block's a scripture, every face a song. We baptize our wounds, sing freedom in our songs. They judge from a distance, but only the brave belong. Come and see the beauty where the world says it's wrong. Yeah. We rise like sun on Sunday morning. We shine even when the world ain't wild. Monday, glory in the street. If you're searching for the answer, you'll find it in these beats. Can any good thing come out of Nazareth? Come and see, come and see. Where the world sees nothing, we find everything we need. Nazareth is the hood, but it's holy ground to me. Roots run deep. Come and see, come and see. So next time they ask, tell them, ooh, come and see.
Welcome to our live event. This is more than just a stream. It's a movement. Introducing Soul to Do Mischief, Forsaking the Holy Covenant, now available on Amazon, Kindle, and shopwowgoods.com. We're replacing 50 years of black music with truth music. Our exclusive soundtrack is here to uplift, inspire, and tell our story. Raw and unfiltered. Don't miss our 7-day flash sale at shopwowgoods.com. Get up to 50% off select items and enjoy free shipping on all orders over $50. Most products ship in as little as 3 days. Want to go deeper? Join our Patreon, Nazareth is the Hood podcast, for rated T, too hot for social media content, unfiltered truth, real stories, and a community that supports you. Shop now at shopwowgoods.com. Grab your copy of Soul to Do Mischief and join our movement for truth, music, and real change. Thanks for tuning in. Let's make history together.
Yeah. No.
It is raining. Can't break me. Pressure in the room, eyes all on me. Tryna make me fold, tryna make me believe. But I know who I am, I know who I serve. Ain't bowing to the world, I know what I'm worth. They want me on my knees, chasing after gold, but my soul's not for sale, can't be bought or sold. Temptation all around, but the truth cuts through. I stand on the promise, I know it's true. Every word, every line written deep inside my mind. I see the lies, I see the game, but I won't fall for the fame. Never fall down and worship you. It is written, I know what to do. I got fire in my soul, I got purpose, I got truth. Never break, never bend, I'ma stand to the end. Never fall down and worship you. It is written, I know what to do. Yeah, I was tested in the fire, try to break my will, but I'm covered by the word and my faith is real. I've seen kings fall, I've seen idols rise, but I'll never sell, I won't believe the lies. You can keep your crown, you can keep your throne. I'm rich and my spirit won't trade it for stone. Every test, every trial just making me strong. I'm walking in the light, can't tell me I'm wrong. Hands lifted high, I know who I praise. Even in the fire, I'ma walk unscathed. And no idols, no games, just faith in my name. It is written, I'll never be the same. Never fall down and worship you. It is written, I know what to do. I got fire in my soul, I got purpose, I got truth. Never break, never bend, I'ma stand to the end. Never fall down and worship you. It is written, I know what to do. Yeah. never fall down and worship you.
Yeah. Don't take me out, just keep me safe. Yeah, yeah. Walking through this world, so many shadows on my mind, praying for protection when the darkness tries to find. Keep my heart unbroken, keep my spirit free. I know you see the battle that no one else can see. I know you hear me when I call. You see the tears before they fall. Don't take me out, I got work to do. Just keep me close, keep me true. I pray now that you take me out of the world, but that you keep me from the evil. Cover me, surround me, let your angels fight my battles. I pray not to run away, but to stand in your light. Keep me safe, keep me strong through the day and the night. So many voices trying to pull me down, but I know your love is stronger than the sound. Temptations in the city, lies in the air, but I walk with your promise. I know that you care, yeah. I don't wanna hide, I just wanna be kept. Guide me through the fire, let me pass every test. If I stumble, if I fall, don't let me lose my way. Keep me from the evil, let your mercy stay. I pray now that you take me out of the world, but that you keep me from the evil. Cover me, surround me, let your angels fight my battles. I pray not to run away, but to stand in your light. Keep me safe, keep me strong through the day and the night. Yeah. Keep me safe, keep me strong. Don't take me out, just keep me from the evil. Yeah. Seen the vision, yeah. Something holy, something higher. Heat rising, smoke in the air. Saw a figure standing there. Feet like they burned in the fire. Glowing gold, walking higher. Head in hands like a lamb, white as snow, purely I am. Eyes like flame, truth in the gaze. Every word cuts through the haze. I feel the power, I feel the light. The presence of heaven is changing my life. The mystery and wonder, I'm caught in the fire. Heaven on earth, yeah, I'm sanctified. Like they burn in a fire. Walking through the storm, never tired. Head in hairs like the lamb. Wisdom in the crown, pure as I am. Seen the vision, felt the flame. Now I'll never be the same. Feet like they burn in a fire. Head in hairs like a lamb. Yeah. Try to run, but I can't escape. Truth in the mirror, can't look away. Glory in the scars, beauty in pain. Every trial, every flame made me who I am today. Walking through the fire, but I'm shining in the night. Lessons in the struggle, now I see the light. Touch the sky, I'm elevated. Know the sky, I'm celebrated. Every step I'm consecrated. But I'm never faded. Feet in the fire. But I'm never faded. Feet in the fire. But I'm never faded.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. What's meant for me can't be given away.
Yeah.
I gave too much, let them take what's mine. Bear the world with my hunger, let myself behind. Broken pieces on the floor, they wanted more and more. But there's a table set for me and I'm not starving anymore. You said hold on to the promise, don't let it slip away. What's sacred in my hands, I can't just give away. Every lesson, every scar reminds me who I am. Not everything is meant for everyone. Some things you just can't have. It is not me to take the children's bread and cast it to the ground. What's meant for me, I'll keep instead. I won't let it go now. I was given, I was empty. Now I know what I deserve. It is not me to take the children's bread and cast it to the ground. Yeah, I used to chase approval, gave away my soul. Now I'm holding to the promise, never letting go. Oh, love was always costly, but I paid the price. Now I'm guarding what is holy, sacrifice for life. Yeah. You taught me boundaries, you taught me truth. What's meant for me is precious and I won't give it to you. Yeah, if you knew what it cost me, you never asked for more. Some things are for the chosen, some things you can't afford. I'm done with empty giving, I'm done with open hands. What's sacred is protected only for the promised land. It is not me to take the children's bread and cast it to the ground. What's meant for me, I'll keep instead. I won't let it go now. I was given, I was empty. Now I know what I deserve. It is not me to take the children's bread and cast it to the ground. Ooh, I won't cast it away. 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 I stand here sacred. I lost count of the days I cried, thinking silence meant goodbye. But beneath the weight I heard a sound, a still small voice from underground. No silver spoon, no chosen seed, just cracked earth beneath my feet. But broken soil still grows the seed, and I found truth, and truth found me. Rock bottom is a solid place to build my dream out of nothing but grace. When the world said fall, I rose in belief. The spirit of the truth is holding me. I'm not lost, I'm finally seen by the Most High King who chose my being. Yeah, from nothing to a covenant stream. Rock bottom's where I learned to dream. They told me wealth was in the air, but I saw the poor in spirit there. So I laid my pride like bricks and stone and built my faith from the cornerstone. Not by might, not by fame, but by His law I rose from shame. Every tear was counted, every breath closer to righteousness. Rock bottom is a solid place to build my dream out of nothing but grace. When the world said fall, I rose in belief. The spirit of the truth is holding me. I'm not lost, I'm finally seen by the Most High King who chose my being. Yeah, from nothing to a covenant stream. Rock bottom's where I learned to dream. I used to ask why me. Now I know it had to be so he could write the story of a remnant rising free. No lights, no stage, no crowd, just a whisper crying loud. I believe, and that's enough for now. Build it up from the dust and paint with the Spirit as my friend. Oh, I believe in the Spirit of the truth. Build my dream out of nothing but you. Yeah. Seen a vision, yeah. Something holy, something higher. He rising, smoke in the air. Saw a figure standing there, feet like they burn in the fire. Glowing gold, walking higher. Head and hair's like a lamb, white as snow, pure as I am. Eyes like flames, truth in the gaze. Every word cuts to the haze. Oh, I feel the power, I feel the light. Presence so heavy, it's changing my life. Mystery and wonder, I'm caught in the vibe. Heaven on earth, yeah, I'm sanctified. Feel like they burned in a fire. Walking through the storm, never tired. Head and hair's like a lamb. Wisdom in the crown, pure as I am. Seen the vision, felt the flame. Now I'll never be the same. Feel like they burned in a fire. Head and hair's like a lamb. Try to run, but I can't escape. Truth in the mirror, can't look away. Glory in the scars, beauty in pain. Every try, every flame made me who I am today. Walking through the fire, but I'm shining the night. Lessons in the struggle, now I see the light. Touch the sky, I'm elevated. No disguise, I'm celebrated. Every step, oh, consecrated. Feet in the fire, but I'm never faded. Feel like they burned in a fire. Walking through the storm, never tired. Head and hair's like a lamb. Wisdom in the crown, pure air as I am. Seen a vision, felt the flame. Now I'll never be the same. Feel like they burned in a fire. Head and hair's like a lamb. I'm refined, I'm alive. Touched by the fire, transformed by the light. Yeah. From the shadows, from the silence, sanctified. Yeah. Before the night, before the fall, you saw the ending, you planned it all. In the darkness, you lit the spark. Carry my burdens, love me from the start. Blood on the altar, tears in the rain. You broke the cycle, you took the pain. Haunted by secrets, but you knew my name. You gave your life so I could change. Every scar, every lie, you saw through my disguise. Laid it down for all my sins, gave me freedom deep within. Lamb slain from the foundation. You were the cure, you were salvation. Sanctify my soul, you made me whole. For the chosen ones, you paid it all. From the ashes, from the dirt, you love me first. You heal the hurt. For the Israelites, you paved the way. Love that darkness can't erase. Running from myself, lost in the night. You pulled me closer, brought me to the light. Chains that I carried, you broke them all. You caught me every time I fall. From the wilderness to the promised land. You held my future in your hands. Now I'm forgiven, now I'm free. You wrote eternity for me. Sanctified, purified, you turned my lows into high. Every wound, every cry, you stay right by my side. Now I breathe, now I rise. You sacrificed my alibi. From the start, you chose my heart, set me apart. You were the cure, you were salvation. Sanctify my soul, you made me whole. For the chosen ones, you paid it all. From the ashes, from the dirt, you loved me first. You healed the hurt. For the Israelites, you paved the way. Love that darkness can't erase. Yeah. Don't take me out, just keep me full. Walking through this world, so many shadows on my mind. Praying for protection when the darkness tries to find. Keep my heart unbroken, keep my spirit free. I know you see the battles that no one else can see. I know you hear me when I call. You see the tears before they fall. Don't take me out, I've got work to do. Just keep me close, keep me true. I pray not that you take me out of the world, but that you keep me from the evil. Cover me, surround me, let your angels fight my battles. I pray not to run away, but to stand in your light. Keep me safe, keep me strong through the day and the night. So many voices trying to pull me down, but I know your love stronger than the sound. Yeah. Temptations in the city, city, lies in the air. But I walk with your promise, I know that you care. I don't wanna hide, I just wanna be kept. Guide me through the fire, let me pass every test. If I stumble, if I fall, don't let me lose my way. Keep me from the evil, let your mercy down. Keep me from the cover me, surround me, angels in the right away. I pray not to run away, but to stand in your light. Keep me safe, keep me strong through the day and the night. Keep me safe, keep me strong. Don't take me out, just keep me from evil. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. What's meant for me can't be given away. I gave too much, let them take what's mine. Fed the world with my hunger, left myself behind, broken pieces on the floor. They wanted more and more, but there's a table set for me, and I'm not starving anymore. You said hold on to the promise, don't let it slip away. What's sacred in my hands, I can't just give away. Every lesson, every scar reminds me who I am. Not everything is meant for everyone. Some things you just can't have. It is not me to take the children's bread and cast it to the ground. What's meant for me, I'll keep instead. I won't let it go now. I was given, I was empty, now I know what I deserve. It is not me to take the children's bread and cast it to the world. Yeah. I used to chase approval, gave away my soul. Now I'm holding to the promise, never letting go. Love was always costly, but I paid the price. Now I'm guarding what is holy. Sacrifice for life. You told me boundary, you told me truth. What's meant for me is precious, and I won't give it to you. Yeah. If you knew what it cost me, you'd never ask for more. Some things are for the chosen, some things you can't afford. I'm done with empty giving, I'm done with open hands. What's sacred is protected only for the promised land. It's not me to take the children's bread and cast it to the ground. What's meant for me, I'll keep instead. I won't let it go now. I was given, I was empty, now I know what I deserve. It is not me to take the children's bread and cast it to the world. Yeah. I won't cast it away. What's meant for me, I'll keep sacred, sacred. In the shadow of the ages, we rise. Names written in the stars, a promise that never dies. Salvation everlasting, a world without end. We wandered through the fire, carried by the wind. Stories etched in struggle, but this is not the end. Lifted from the ashes, we were no shame. Every tear, every trial refines the flame. And the world may turn, but the promise stands. We are chosen, never broken, held in holy hands. Israel shall be saved in the Lord, with an everlasting salvation. Never ashamed, never confounded. We stand in restoration. We're without end, His love won't bend. We're written in forever, we rise again. See, they try to bury the truth, but roots only grow deeper. Try to silence the song, but the melody lingers. We are the echo of a promise, a light that cannot fade. Walking boldly in redemption, unashamed, unafraid. Worlds may crumble, kingdoms may fall, but our salvation outlasts them all. We are the vision, the dream unbroken, a people restored, a prophecy spoken. We shall be saved in the Lord, the everlasting salvation. Never ashamed, never confounded. We stand in restoration. Nazareth is loving. We're written in forever. We rise again. So let the world keep spinning. We remain bound by a promise, world without end. Never ashamed, never confounded. We rise, we ascend.
Welcome to our live event. This is more than just a stream. It's a movement. Introducing Soul to Do Mischief, Forsaking the Holy Covenant, now available on Amazon, Kindle, and shopwowgoods.com. We're replacing 50 years of black music with truth music. Our exclusive soundtrack is here to uplift, inspire, and tell our story. Raw and unfiltered. Don't miss our 7-day flash sale at shopwowgoods.com. Get up to 50% off select items and enjoy free shipping on all orders over $50. Most products ship in as little as 3 days. Want to go deeper? Join our Patreon, Nazareth is the Hood podcast, for rated T, too hot for social media content, unfiltered truth, real stories, and a community that supports you. Shop now at shopwowgoods.com. Grab your copy of Soul to Do Mischief and join our movement for truth, music, and real change. Thanks for tuning in. Let's make history together.
We were lost in the desert, dust on our names, but hope is a river that finds us just the same. Broken pieces, scattered dreams, history written in silent screams. Hearts on the run, but the promise never died. 12 tribes, 12 stories, learning how to survive. Can you feel the spirit breathing new life in me? All these bones, all these scars, now they're setting us free. From the ashes we remember who we're destined to be. One people, one vision, rising up from defeat. Divided kingdom, but we're finding our way. Turning pain into power, letting love lead the way. From the valley of dry bones, we're alive and we're strong. United together, where we all belong. We've been faded, underrated, but our roots run deep. Ancient melodies in our veins, waking up from our sleep. Every trial, every tear, just a part of the song. Now we're building forever where we all belong. Hands to the sky, we reclaim our names, restoring our story, breaking every chain. Love is the answer, healing every divide. Now the kingdom is rising. soul, one kingdom made whole.
Tender is the night, sacred is this love I found. In a world of endless faces, passing strangers drifting by. In a world of endless faces, passing strangers drifting by. I searched 1,000 places, but your spirit caught my eye. From the silence you awaken every longing in my soul. Of all the stories I've been chasing, you're the only one I know. And the winds of change surround me, and the shadows start to fall. You're the voice that still reminds me, you're the reason for it all. Only you have I know. Of all the families of the earth, only you hold the key to the meaning of my word. Through the fire, through the rain, you're the shelter from my storm. Only you have I know. You're the place I call home. Every moment, every season, every joy and every pain, you're the answer, you're the reason. In your love I rise again. From the ashes of my weakness, you have lifted me above. Of all the hearts I could believe in, you're my one and only love. You're the echo in my silence, you're the hope within my prayer. Every road I've walked in darkness led me to you waiting there. Only you have I know. Of all the families of the earth, only you hold the key to the meaning of my word. Through the fire, through the rain, you're the shelter from my storm. You're the place I call home. Only you, only you. Of all the families of the earth, you're the place I call. You're the place I call home. You say you love me, but your eyes can't hide. There's a story in your silence, secrets you deny. I gave you my trust, laid my soul on the line, but the truth is a shadow you keep trying to hide. I can feel the distance every time you lie. Words unspoken, heavy in the night. If you really want my heart, if you wanna stay, there's only one thing left to say. Teach the truth, don't play with my heart. I need real love, not a work of art. If you can't be honest, you'll lose my faith. You have been warned, don't make that mistake. Teach the truth, let the light come through. No more secrets between me and you. If you want redemption, if you want my trust, teach the truth. You have been warned. Promises broken, I remember them all. You can't build forever on a foundation that falls. I'm not asking for perfect, just honesty. If you want my love, you gotta set it free. I can feel the distance every time you lie. Words unspoken, heavy in the night. If you really want my heart, you say you love me, but your eyes can't hide. There's a story in your silence, secrets you deny. I gave you my trust, laid my soul on the line, but the truth is a shadow you keep trying to hide. I can feel the distance every time you lie. Words unspoken, heavy in the night. If you really want my heart, if you wanna stay, there's only one thing left to say. Teach the truth, don't play with my heart. I need real love, not a work of art. If you can't be honest, you'll lose my faith. You have been warned, don't make that mistake. Teach the truth, let the light come through. No more secret between me and you. If you want redemption, if you want my trust, teach the truth, you have been warned. Promises broken, I remember them all. You can't build forever on a foundation that falls. I'm not asking for perfect, just honesty. If you want my love, you gotta set it free. I can feel the distance every time you lie. Words unspoken, heavy in the night. If you really want my heart, if you wanna stay, there's only one thing left to say. Teach the truth, don't play with my heart. I need real love, not a work of art. If you can't be honest, you'll lose my faith. You have been warned, don't make that mistake. Teach the truth, let the light come through. No more secret between me and you. If you want redemption, if you want my trust, teach the truth, you have been warned. This is your moment, this is your chance. Say what you mean, don't leave it a chance. If you want forever, you know what to do. Show me your heart, let me see the truth. Teach the truth, don't play with my heart. I need real love, not a work of art. If you can't be honest, you lose my faith. You have been warned, don't make that mistake. Teach the truth, let the light come through. No more secret between me and you. If you want redemption, if you want my trust, teach the truth, you have been warned. Sanctified, yeah, from the beginning, for my people. Before the sunrise, before the first breath, you wrote redemption in the stars, love deeper than death. You saw the struggle, you felt the pain, carried the weight of all our shame. Blood on the altar, promise in the sky. You gave it all so we could rise. Every scar, every tear, every trial, every fear, you bore it all. You took the fall so we could stand it. Lamb slain from the foundation. You laid your life for this nation. Sanctified, justified, we're alive, 'cause you sacrificed. From the dust you called our name, took our sin, took our blame. For the Israelites you paved the way, love that never fades away. Through every exile, every broken chain, you kept the promise, never changed. Covered in mercy, wrapped in grace, you saw your people face to face. From the wilderness to the throne, you never left us on our own. Now we're chosen, now we're free, you wrote our destiny. Sanctified, purified, you turned our mourning into life. Every drop, every cry, you saw us through the darkest night. Now we sing, now we praise, for the Lamb who took our place. From foundation to forever, you loved us anyway. Laid your
have slain, now we rise.
Welcome to our live event. This is more than just a stream. It's a movement. Introducing Soul to Do Mischief, Forsaking the Holy Covenant, now available on Amazon, Kindle, and shopwowgoods.com. We're replacing 50 years of black music with truth music. Our exclusive soundtrack is here to uplift, inspire, and tell our story, raw and unfiltered. Don't miss our 7-day flash sale at shopwowgoods.com. Get up to 50% off select items and enjoy free shipping on all orders over $50. Most products ship in as little as 3 days. Want to go deeper? Join our Patreon, Nazareth is the Hood podcast, for rated T, too hot for social media content, unfiltered truth, real stories, and a community that supports you. Shop now at shopwowgoods.com. Grab your copy of Soul to Do Mischief and join our movement for truth, music, and real change. Thanks for tuning in. Let's make history together.
All around, I was searching for the light, lost in my reflection, running from the night. Chains on my spirit, guilt in my veins, but I heard a whisper softly call my name. You saw my secrets, the battles I had, still you reach for me, arms open wide. You said I'm chosen, you said I'm yours. Pull me from the fire, healed all my scars. Every tear, every sin, you wash it all away. Every fear, every lie, you broke it when you came. I was broken, but you called me. Yeah, you called me by my name. He shall save his people from their sin. Gave me hope, let the healing begin. I was lost, but you found me in the rain. Call me out, yeah, you called me by my name. No more shame, no more running from the pain. Lifted up, now I'll never be the same. You wrote my story, you erased the stain. He shall save his people, and he called me by my name. I remember every night I prayed for a sign. Didn't know I was yours, didn't know I was divine. Grace in the silence, mercy in the fall. You saw me at my lowest, still you gave it all. Now I'm walking in the promise, light in my soul. You turn my broken pieces into something whole, yeah. Call me, you call me, through the fire, through the storm. You save me, now I know where I belong. Every scar, every flaw, you saw it all. Still you call, still you call, still you call, still you call. He shall save his people from their sin. Give me hope, let the healing begin. I was lost, but you found me in the rain. Call me out, yeah, you called me by my name. No more shame, no more running from the pain. Lifted up, now I'll never be the same. You wrote my story, you erased the stain. He shall save his people, and he called me by my name. You call me, you call me by my name. Save me from the pain. In the shadow of the ages, we rise. Names written in the stars, a promise that never dies. Salvation everlasting, a world without end. We wandered through the fire, carried by the wind. Stories etched in struggle, but this is not the end. Lifted from the ashes, we were no shame. Every tear, every trial refines the flame. And the world may turn, but the promise stands. We are chosen, never broken, held in holy hands. Israel shall be saved in the Lord, with an everlasting salvation. Never ashamed, never confounded. We stand in restoration. We're without end, His love won't bend. We're written in forever, we rise again. See, they try to bury the truth, but roots only grow deeper. Try to silence the song, but the melody lingers. We are the echo of a promise, a light that cannot fade. Walking boldly in redemption, unashamed, unafraid. Worlds may crumble, kingdoms may fall, but our salvation outlasts them all. We are the vision, the dream unbroken, a people restored, a prophecy spoken. We shall be saved in the Lord, with everlasting salvation. Never ashamed, never confounded. We stand in restoration. His love, we're written in forever. We rise again. So let the world keep spinning. We remain bound by a promise, world without end. Never ashamed, never confounded. We rise, we ascend.
Yeah.